Welcome back. This episode is brought to you courtesy of producers in Hong Kong. I've engaged with the Kung Fu movie producers to create this episode. First off, I'm going to show you my teak rail. This is the cap rail that I removed and took home, and I've refinished it. And here you can see all the holes that have been drilled into it that would fasten it. And these two holes here are the culprits that were misaligned that forced me to remove the thing. The other challenge I've got here is with this beveled edge. The piece of teak that goes over the curve on the bulwark, it didn't fit very well, so I installed it with bedding compound, and it left a lip. Here I can feel the lip, and you can actually, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see how the teak doesn't line up. So those are the holes for the bolts that are going to hold the cleat down. You can see that they're not far off from where the originals were. It's like maybe a quarter inch to the inside. It's fairly fine tolerance. You can see here I filled up the holes for the screw mounts on the boom gallows as well. The stuff I have in my hand here is bedding compound by Interlux. It's linseed oil and some other goo all thrown together. It never dries up, and it actually works really, really well. The bedding compound that was underneath the cap rails from the original manufacturer was still pliable when I removed it a few years ago. It's very, very thick, and it's not very runny, and that's just the way you want it when you're putting down a piece of wood on something like this. So for this application, it works quite well. It's like putty, and the salt water doesn't seem to affect it, and the sunlight doesn't seem to affect it. And it has the added benefit of smelling really nice. That's if you like the smell of linseed oil, and I do. So today I have my friend, affectionately named Kenji. He's a foreign job, you understand. And he's going to help me get the cap rail underneath the boom gallows here. Okay, Kenji, put some muscle into it, you warthog-faced buffoon. All right, Paul, there you go, lifting away. Good job, Kenji. So just like that, we have the cap rail basically back in. Now this segment of the video is normally clipped and added to the end. I have an itchy ear. I have 4 itchy ears, but due to the Hong Kong Kung Fu editing, it's not at the end, it's in the middle, kind of like that over there. Yes, my cheek is itchy too. Bugs must be in my ear there. So now we are going to attempt to actually put the bolts through the bulwark and fasten this thing down. So Kenji is managing the screwdriver, and I'm actually down below turning myself into a human pretzel in order to get the nuts on those bolts. We had originally planned to put a plate up underneath there, but it just didn't work out. There was some old construction stuff. I think there's a couple of screws or bolts still poking through the fiberglass. There just isn't enough room in that tiny little gap to get a plate up in there fastened down tight. So what we ended up doing was simply using the same method that was there when I took the cleats off, which is washers and locking nuts. It was very, very difficult to get them back on there, but I think that'll be okay. It served for 40 years. In the meantime, fair winds, following seas, and God bless.